Harry only got 30 days as an accomplice, but John got 6 months hard labour, breaking rocks in the hot sun. Lovely. When Harry got out, his mum was very cross with him. "You're a beastly, beastly, beastly boy," she screamed, as she chased him round the dining room table, caning his legs with a stick. Harry was fed up. There must be a way to make some money. Then he went to visit John in prison. His mum had said not to, but he felt that he owed it to John, and John had sent him a plaintive letter, telling him about how bad it was inside, what with hard beds, and no telly to watch. John liked his telly. When Harry got there, John told him about the bird business, and how much money you can make selling birds. Harry was all ears. John tantalised him with stories of large profits and easy gain. Harry thought of his mum saying there's no such thing as a free lunch, and don't trust people like John. But John had him hypnotised with images of money and large amounts of it, and the easiness of getting it, if you know how, if you have the knowledge. Something about John being in prison gave his comments an extra resonance and importance in Harry's mind. So, John gave Harry the addresses and phone numbers of 2 of his friends, one who sold birds, and the other who bought them. The scam was one of John's regulars, and he assured Harry that it always worked a treat, real simple. You just go and get the birds, pay not much, and then you take them to the other guy and sell them for a fortune. "So, what's the catch?" asked Harry. "It can't be as easy as that." "No catch," said John. "The difficult part is how you get them back." "So how do you do that?" asked Harry. "Well, that's what you've got to work out, and that's how you earn your profit," said John. "All the couriers come up with their own method, and it's better that I don't know what it is, for security." Harry was impressed. He thought he understood the scam, and it sounded simple and straightforward. Go and buy the birds, bring them back, somehow, sell them, large profit, bit for John put aside for when he comes out. Nice. And Harry was mesmerised at the idea of large amounts of cash for a quick trip abroad. So he took the names and addresses of the supplier and the customer, and looked forward to a quick trip abroad and a fat profit. Lovely. Maybe he'd meet a nice girl while he was out there, and when he got back he could afford to send her a plane ticket and invite her over. Mum would love that, if he found a nice girl and then she came to stay. So he did it. The guy was obviously in pain and limping through the nothing to declare zone, customs official Eric Donaldson told an Adelaide court. But it wasn't until we heard noises coming from his trousers that we knew for sure. Harry Johnson, a 21-year-old Thai carpenter, had earlier been arrested at Adelaide International Airport and charged with breaching the Wildlife Protection Act and the Quarantine Act. Donaldson explained what happened. "We found feathers and bird droppings in Johnson's suitcase, so we asked him what was going on, but he went berserk and kept screaming, 'My wife shit on her pillowcase and go!' The muffled noises continued coming from his trousers, so eventually we made him strip, and found 4 Thai baby moustache parrots inside his underpants, worth about $20,000 on the black market. Johnson's penis was virtually pecked off, and because of that his testicles must have been sweating profusely. The poor birds had nearly drowned. At first Johnson pleaded not guilty, claiming he was as surprised as anyone else when parrots were discovered in his underpants. After heated consultation with his defence solicitor, he eventually changed his plea to guilty and was fined $22,500. Donaldson later told the judge, "We've decided to keep them. Curiously, since their experience, they will only eat bananas." Harry got 6 months and ended up in the same cell that John had been in. There were all the stains, unmistakably John's, along with about 30 other assorted thieves, thugs, rapists, murderers, and worse. His mum was not impressed. When he got out again, his mum wouldn't have him back, so he went to stay at John's. It was heavy at John's. For a start, it was all on a small scale, as John was only 4 foot 2 inches, so Harry kept banging into everything. Plus, John had what amounted to a farm going on inside the house. Everywhere you looked, there were live animals, most of them waiting for John to feed them, which he did almost continuously, in rotation. The sight of all those animals getting dinner made Harry hungry, and John knew this intuitively, so he threw Harry bits of food, until the dogs started growling and the cats started hissing at the favouritism being shown the new intruder. One of the dogs bit Harry on the balls, but not too hard. Harry took the hint and signalled John to throw the next food to the animals. Harry was worn out and spaced out, and he slept soundly. When he woke, he found that he had been the centre of attraction for all the animals, and they had all snuggled up to him and fallen asleep, loving his warmth. He had rabbits and cavies all over his face, and a great big snake all coiled round his arm. Cripes, he thought, and wriggled free of the huge mass of animals all over him. They squeaked and groaned a bit, but all settled down again. The snake appeared to be asleep and unaware of Harry's desire to go to the toilet, so he went for a wee. But as he was weeing, the snake woke up and started hissing at his pecker. So he called John, and John rescued him and tempted the snake with a big fat juicy wriggling live rat, which the snake slithered after when he let it loose. So Harry went for a walk and decided what to do. He felt very spiritual,